I really loved her because she was so edgy and blunt, and I knew that I wanted to surround myself with her. Put so much love and energy and time into this record that I think I had to relearn the craft of songwriting, you know. I think from the perspective that I'd written the first album, there's a lot of drugs and alcohol involved with that. And so there was a certain veil that was always in front of me of the truth, because I couldn't handle the truth. Okay. And I think there was a certain ambiguity that comes from the first record, and there's some vagueness and some ambivalence. The enormity of Bad Day also eclipsed me as an artist, and everybody around me was always, oh, you're great, you're great, you're great. You know what? I wasn't great. I wasn't great all the time. And with this record and with Linda, it's been great because she really pulled me out of the ashes, and I ended up taking a year off to get sober, and well, I had to learn how to write sober, which was something that I'd never experienced. You know, I was using drugs and alcohol as the core means of inspiration to even get to a song. That everything that was coming out of me based around the music on this new album was really authentic. And you know, making music is all about risks. I think on this one, I just let it, I mean, that record is me. That's how I felt, you know, and it was so cathartic to get it all out. But I wanted to do real 16-piece string orchestra. So to do that, you need to have an arranger writing particular parts. And this is how we made records back in the 70s, you know, and I wanted to experience that. The second album was so important to me to not have, like, I think people needed a reprieve from Daniel Powter. I think it was enough of me out there for a while that I felt my core audience could handle letting me go away for 2 years. I spent time in my house that I'd never really spent any time in, and I got to relearn how to become a father and reacquaint myself with my daughter, and I just took care of myself. You know, I think that comes from some maturity. We'll be here in the new year in 2009. Okay. I'll be in the UK and France and Italy, and I can't wait. This is where it all started, in this hotel. Really? Yeah, in this hotel and in this city, my career started. It's just nice to be back and be back in Paris, especially in France. And I'm so grateful for this country for what they did, because they really launched my career. Okay. The danger of success is forgetting about humility. You lose humility when you're successful sometimes, and you forget where the music comes from. You have to come back to the ground, and that's the dangers of success. Some people don't want to come back down. So with my daughter, if she wanted to do that, I would support her, but I'd let her. She has to do it on her own. Yeah. You know, she has to go out there and do what I did. She has to go to the greasy bars with the people that don't want to hear her play and yell at her, and develop that thick skin to build that foundation that comes from struggle, you know. You know, as you see the TV shows now that have the pop icons on that don't have any sense of struggling other than waiting in line to get into the show for judgment. It's like building a foundation on toothpicks. I mean, I listened to, we had vinyl albums in our house, you know, everyone from Bartok to Fleetwood Mac and the Beatles and Elton John and Billy Joel. My parents listened to these great record collections, you know. We also had like lots of Motown albums, you know. Yeah. So I used to put the record player up on top of the piano, and I'd spin the record and I'd copy the. That's how I learned how to play, you know. We had my mom was like a really great piano player. Okay. So she would drive us around to fly us around to San Francisco to see ballets, and then we'd have to go to the Bartok symphonies. Well, that was tough. And we could take our coloring books and whatnot, but we had to go. Okay. So I think that's how I got the bug, you know, through osmosis. Yeah, thank you. Merci beaucoup, and I love France.